high quality content, 10x content, search intent. What does any of that mean? It's actually pretty simple. And I'm gonna go through a real example of how I go about nailing search intent and creating 10x content that's sure to dominate the search results. Let's talk about quality. This is such a subjective word, and especially when it comes to content. So how do we think about quality? Let's simplify this. First and foremost, you have to nail the search intent. Second, you have to focus on the actual content. What is being said matters a lot more than how it's being said. And finally, you have to add value to the internet. Don't regurgitate. We have to make something better, and we have to make something different. Understand that some topics just aren't going to lead to that 10x opportunity. Some topics just are what they are. And then some topics are already covered thoroughly at a very high quality level. And then sometimes you might just not have what it takes to reach 10x. So now I'm gonna take you through an SEO content example. There's 3 steps here, and I'm gonna go through each of them with you in detail. So first of all, you have to understand the search intent, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. Second, you gotta break down the competition. And third, you have to make something better than the competition. So let's jump into this real life random example, and you'll see exactly how it's done. All right, so jumping over to explodingtopics.com, you can see that there's a few examples here. And one that caught my eye was rotating car seat. And mostly that's because I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is. I thought it was really interesting, the trend and how much it's been blowing up in the last year or so. So I decided to just pick that one. So let's take a look at what the search results look like for this topic so that we can wrap our head around the search intent. All right, so looking at the search results here, you can see a whole bunch of stuff. And it's clear to me that buying intent is what Google is showing here. There's all sorts of products, and there's all sorts of like kind of shopping modules. There's also quite a bit of reference to things like best and reviews and all of that good stuff. But there's also some contradictions and mixed results when it comes to the search intent here. We just have to look a little closer and scroll a little further. And you can see, despite all of the commercial search intent around buying and reviews and best, there's this standout #1 ranking. Well, #2 if you take away the fact that an actual brand is ranking for an actual single rotating car seat. Set that top one aside, and the next highest ranking page is a New York Times or the Wirecutter article that is all about boiling down whether or not it's worth it. And so you can see the title of that is "Are Rotating Car Seats Worth It?" And as you scroll down a bit more, you see quite a lot of that. You're gonna see Reddit and other forums, and in the people also ask, you'll see a lot of reference to, is it worth it? So now we understand how to nail the search intent. Let's look at the competition so we can figure out how to make something considerably better than what already exists. All right, so there's 2 search results here that I want to point out and that I want to use as the competition that we're going to go try to beat. So the first one is this New York Times article, which is all about, are rotating car seats worth it? And then there's this other article by bestproducts.com that is essentially a top list of the best rotating car seats. All right, so there's the Wirecutter, are rotating car seats worth it? And then there's the 5 best rotating car seats in 2024 that make trips so much easier. And this is bestproducts.com. So right from the get, there are some clear contradictions. First of all, these are totally different topics and totally different approaches. But also within each of them, they're each saying something very different about rotating car seats as a whole. So the bestproducts.com is talking about how great they are. The Wirecutter is talking about how much they suck. And on the Wirecutter, you can clearly see that there are lots of words that are negative, drawbacks and difficult to install, not easy to use. And they even go as far as saying it might be worth it for those who have mobility challenges, but for your average parent, not worth it. And they clearly state that here. They say it may sound convenient, but after trying 4 rotating car seats, we've concluded that the seats themselves are more complex, less straightforward to install, and have more things that can go wrong than conventional models. Plus, they're much more expensive than regular convertible seats from the same brands and generally heavier. It's very clear that the Wirecutter or New York Times is saying no, rotating car seats are not worth it. I don't really like their reasoning or methodology behind this claim. Basically, they had one random person test 4 random products within the category and came to this conclusion. So let's see what real parents from the internet have to say about rotating car seats, because there's a whole lot out there all over the forums like Reddit, Quora, etc. All right, so as you can see, there's no shortage of forum results, and they're very active and very useful content all over these forums. You know, the problem is that the user just has to scour through all of these different results in order to get the answer they're looking for. So there is an opportunity here. You can see it already. And in Reddit, as you dig into the results and the answers, there's quite a lot of positive responses. Reddit was flooded with parents that swear by the rotating car seat. I actually couldn't find anyone agreeing with the claims of the Wirecutter. Everybody loves it. So let's take a step back and summarize what we've learned so far and where to go from here. So 1, search intent here is best rotating car seats and are they worth it? There's also some highlights around safety concerns. So I think there's an opportunity to bring that in as well. 2, the competition, it's weak at best and maybe completely wrong. There is definitely a 10x opportunity here. So let's talk about the content approach that we're gonna take in order to capitalize on this opportunity. First of all, we're gonna curate opinions from real parents who are using rotating car seats in their daily lives to determine if it's worth it. Second, we're gonna dig into any safety concerns. We're gonna use real data and real studies to determine any risk. And then 3, we're gonna focus reviews around easy use and safety. Doing hands-on testing doesn't make any sense in this situation. We're gonna leverage surveys and consumer interviews. If we execute well on all this content approach, it's gonna be by far better than anything else currently ranking for rotating car seats. All we had to do is understand the search intent, break down the competition, and then make something better than the competition. It's really not that complicated. Now, I hope you found this video helpful. I really appreciate you spending your time watching it. And if you did find it valuable, please subscribe to my channel. I would really, really appreciate that. And I would love to get to know you in the comments, so don't hesitate to ask any questions or share your feedback. Thanks so much for your time, and I hope to see you again soon.